Last week, you might remember my son and my brother and I making grape juice out of the wild grapes that grow in my backyard along the tree line. As you can see, there are still a very large quantity of the wild grapes up here in these branches, but I'm going to leave those. I might decide to do something with them a little later on. But what I'm really wanting to work with soon is, if you look over here, these are my larger grapes all along this fence line. At the end, there's a very small vine that does not seem to be producing this year at all. I think it's been overrun with different vines running through here that are choking them off. Or perhaps it's just getting old and past its prime for production. It has been in here for as long as I can remember. Over here is my largest batch of grapes. Problem is, if you see all those flowers standing up, those aren't the grapes. Those are actually wild cucumber plants. You can tell that by, if you look at the leaves, they've got the star-shaped leaves on them, these white flowers, and which actually, sometimes they smell very sweet, almost like a wild lilac. And if I can find one here, there it is, the spiky wild cucumber. These, they're very pretty, they smell nice, but they're invasive. And you would never know from looking there that I have tons of grapes underneath. In fact, not only that, but if you see these little red berries, there's a pack of them here. Notice there's some differences in color. There's green, there is orange, a little bit of yellow on this one, and a lot of red. What you're not seeing now, because they're already gone, is the purple flowers that also used to be on the vines. And those purple flowers had yellow in the middle of them. These are actually what I believe are Bittersweet Nightshade. And there's my kitty who wants to get in on the action. All of these are getting in the way of me actually getting to my grapes. Like if you see over here, in among where the Nightshade is, there's nice batches of grapes. These are all over in here, right down to the ground. I take you on the other side, where I'm probably going to be showing you my shadow more than anything else, the way that the sun is shining over here. Hiding in among here, you look at all those grapes coming out beautifully. So while I wait for those to finish maturing so that I can use them all along the bottom here, there's all kinds more tucked in. They're all through here, beautiful clumps of them. If you look up here, it's a whole mess. Down through. Just an amazing number. There's so much I'm going to be able to do with these once I can really get to them. But first, the project is going to be to get rid of the wild cucumber vine and the bittersweet nightshade that are strangling the grapes and keeping me from able to get to the crop. It's gonna take some doing. The best thing to do is going to be for me to follow down those vines to the ground and cut them off at their source, and then I'll be able to actually get to the grapes that I have in future years, if I can find a way to keep the birds from getting them before I do. These right here are my cherry trees. I get beautiful numbers of cherries, but just before they get ready for me to pick them, the birds are on them. These trees over here in this line These are plum trees. This is actually the first year out of 3 that I realized that these were plum trees. I thought they were crabapple because the birds were getting the plums before they even got to the size where I realized what they were. So they were very small when I would see them up there, and then they would just be gone. And this year I happened to see some actual plums on the ground. From this point on, I'll be making sure that I keep an eye on those and can harvest the plums as well. It's a great yard. There's the tree line back there that we got the wild grapes from. It's just a beautiful, beautiful yard. I've been blessed to have been able to move in here. I'm hoping to eventually buy this property. Just kind of showing you around that line of trees into the front part of the yard. Back to the grapevines. I'd like to do a couple of different things where I can either can and make more grape juice, similar to what we did with the batch of wild grapes, but I'd also like to try making grape jelly. I've never done that before, so that's going to be something really new for me. I'm a little nervous about it, how it's going to turn out, how to go about doing it, but I'm going to give it a try.